Thank you for tuning in today. Our mission is to equip and empower you to dig in and soar higher, doing the things that you love. So get ready to live life fully. Hey everyone, it's your girl Joy, your passionate gold miner. And how is everyone doing today? I'm excited. We are on episode 20, and today we are talking about There's Glory in Your Story Sessions 2. And this is part of our Growth and Innovative Mindset series. And in a few moments, I'm going to be talking to Robinson-Myhand and Yvonne Whalen. I am excited to talk to these ladies, and what I am hoping you will take away from today's episode is the understanding that everyone has a story. And I'm hoping you'll say, you know what? I do have a story that can inspire, empower, and uplift others. Let me tell my story. Or at least maybe you will seek guidance and assistance from someone that can help you share your story. All right, I hope you enjoy my conversation with Robin and Yvonne. Well, hello, Robin.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. How are you doing?
Good this evening, yeah.
Good to see you, and I'm loving your head wrap. Looking so pretty.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my goodness. So thank you for coming on this episode and talking with me. So can you briefly tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, my name is Robinson-Myhand. I'm a personal development guide, author, speaker, and founder of New Phase of Life. I provide guidance, resources, and tools that encourage, empower, and equip people to embrace their own unique greatness and find their own unique path.
All right, awesome. And can you please tell us about your book and what was the inspiration for the book?
Okay, so there was several things that happened for the book to come about. I was actually with a group of women one time, and this one woman, it's in the book, she was very upset because she said her mother just did not love her at all. There were 7 kids, and all the kids had no problems with their mother, but her mother just didn't like her, just didn't love her. She didn't know what she could do. And so I was listening, and I said, I don't believe that's true. I think you're probably speaking different love languages.
Mm.
Okay. And so she was like, what is that? And I was like, well, there are 5 different love languages. And it might help if you figure out which one you are and which one your mother is. Because what I got from her, she really needed words of affirmation and physical touch. And her mother wasn't a touchy-feely, huggy person, you know. I got the feeling her mama was old school. She's like,
In other words, yeah.
I'm feeding you. You got a house, you got some clothes. I love you, okay? And she needed a little bit more. So I told her, I told her to write it down and look it up and look into it and see if she thought that probably was a key to what was going on with her. She just was not hearing or feeling love in the way that she needed to feel it. That didn't mean it didn't exist.
Right.
She just wasn't getting it the way that she needed it and the way she expressed it. Like she would go to hug her mom and her mom would just kind of like, some people aren't touchy-feely.
Right.
You have to respect people's private space. You just can't go in and hug folks and they're like,
Yeah.
So not everybody's like that. So that was one incident that happened. And then I was talking with my mother and another friend of mine, and I asked them if they knew about apology languages. Did they know about personality types? And they're like, what are you talking about? And I said, well, there's different personality types. There's different assessments, you know. Um, and they were like, no, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And so one person had taken the Myers-Briggs,
Mm-hmm.
but with that, it was strictly about careers.
Mm-hmm.
What career are you best suited for? It didn't get into any of your personal traits or anything like that. So there was nothing identifiable other than this four, you know, IGTF or whatever you are.
Yeah.
And these are the jobs that you should look at because your personality type will fit with that, but nothing more than that. And so one day I was in the shower. A lot of times I get things when I'm in the shower. So I heard this voice say, Project Me. I'm like, Project Me. And it was like, yeah, put all your stuff together and make it like a project. So I got out the shower, I remember drying off, and I just wrote it down and I tucked it into my calendar and went on to work, you know, the whole routine. And then I heard it again, Project Me. And I said, oh, okay. So then I started thinking about what could I put together as a project. And so going back on over those conversations, that's when I started looking into personality types, which I love. That's one of my favorite things to do is help people figure out what their personality types, and then they can see how spot on things are. And it kind of just helps people understand themselves. And that's the purpose of Project Me, is to fully understand yourself, be comfortable with who you are. There's nothing wrong with the way you are. We all have, you know, our talents that we need to work in, and we're not all gifted in all areas. And that's fine. I mean, good grief, what would the world be like if people had the same types of gifts and talents, you know?
That's right. That's right.
So it's like, but knowing yours kind of helps you alleviate, okay, what do I need to deal with? I'm not good at that. Let somebody else handle that.
That's right. Yeah, you learn your strengths. You know, I always say God gave each one of us gifts and talents.
Mm-hmm.
I say it's because so we would need each other.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah. Yeah. We cannot be all and end all. We just can't. You can't do everything. You know, the Superwoman is way overrated.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. We're all different. Your strengths and skills are different from mine. And I said he did it on purpose so that we would have to rely on each other.
Yeah.
I love all of these different personality types.
Yeah.
Of course, the most popular one, the Myers-Briggs and the True Colors.
Yeah, True Colors.
I've done that one. But I really thought the Bible characters.
Yeah.
That one was really interesting too.
Yeah. Yeah, how they line up with the Bible characters, and you can kind of, you know, so you can look through your Bible and kind of read up on them and say, oh, okay, yeah, they do embody those traits.
Yes.
You know, so this, you know, I put all of that together, that information together, and did the reference chart to kind of help people. If somebody's already done a test and they kind of know where they're at, they still can use that and then look through each type and see how things kind of line up for themselves.
Yeah. Yes. I found out, well, I knew which ones I were, but I wanted, you know, I read just to make sure.
Sure.
And it was spot on.
Okay. Miss Planner. I didn't know you were a planner.
Yep. Planner and doer.
Yep.
Planner, doer, gold, orange.
Yeah.
Yes, Ruth, Boaz, and David and Noah. I was
wow, like, you got it down. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and it just helps. So when you saw that, how did that make you feel when you saw?
See, that? I felt empowered. I felt excited. Just knowing that I could put a name with my personality type, because I knew which ones I were, but I just felt more validated, I guess, to say, to see that all the different characteristics and traits that you list in the book for my particular personality type were dead on. So it was valid. It was me.
Yeah.
And so it just made me feel good to know that I have a name now
Hmm.
for my personality type.
There's nothing wrong with who you are and how you are. You came into the world that way.
Yeah. I embrace who I am.
Yeah. And that's the whole purpose of this project, is for people to feel good about who they are, embrace it, and walk in the world powerful, you know, and happy with who they are. There's nothing wrong with the way they are.
Yeah. It also helps you too to know that how you can deal with someone that is not what your personality type is.
Yes,
And yeah,
yes. That's a whole nother layer of
yeah,
how these interact with each other.
yeah,
That's a whole nother layer of that, which is in itself a whole nother book.
yeah. Yeah, I was gonna ask, do you teach more on this? Because it's things that you have to think about. When
Yeah,
you're dealing, you may be dealing with a thinker or a helper. Like
yeah,
when I give events, I take that in consideration. And usually when I put the group exercise together, I try to make sure I'll do a small assessment right at the beginning so I can make sure we don't get all the helpers at one table or
right.
all the planners at one table, because nothing's going to get done. A lot of times
So
people need 24 hours before they even, get started.
yeah, you have to mix it up so you can have that's teamwork.
Yeah, ooh, that's
Need all of that in order for the team to work, which
right.
is why this is really good for offices and businesses to know, and also for entrepreneurs to know what their strengths are and who else they need to add to their team.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah,
Yes.
because that's the big key. You want to have these four elements working, but you're not going to be all of those things. So you're going to have to figure out what you need for your team
Yes.
in order
That's
for
yeah.
everything to work. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I love doing the conferences and the workshops, because that's how you get to network and meet other people. And then
Right.
you want to hire your weakness.
Right.
This book, it would be helpful for so many people.
Yeah.
In the
It's a
work.
lot of people. It's more than just for yourself. It's good, like for couples to do, or people to do that are, like I said, a work situation, entrepreneurs. What I'm going to be working on is rolling out a program that uses this book and kind of go help people go through the book. Because also, you know, people need guidance a lot of times. And it also helps to share and hear from other people. So when you're doing this by yourself, you may not get through all of it because you get like a,
Yeah, yeah,
and depends on where you are in life, it can be overwhelming.
right. That's what I was going to ask you. Are you doing a workshop, or how are you
Yeah,
teaching?
I'm going to work on putting one together, and it'll be a Zoom because
Okay.
of just the way things are, and I can reach more people via Zoom.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's good for all different ages. I would say, even from 18 and up. I wish I had had a lot of this when I got out, while I was senior year of high school or getting out of high school. Um, just understanding myself better.
Yeah,
But
so I can see you taking this to the college and do
yeah,
a program with the.
because it's when we were going to school, we didn't have none of this. It was go get a job. That's what you need to do. Get you a job. It didn't matter what it was, just go get a job. You didn't have to like the job.
You didn't have to like use that big over check and pay your bills.
You got bills to pay. You need to go. Yes, grow up fast in a hurry. Get out. Go.
You know me,
Okay.
I don't know. It's funny. I'm always trying to work where my skills and my strengths shine.
Yeah.
I did have a couple jobs early on, and I'll never forget. I tried to do some janitorial work, and I
Oh,
remember a guy going, "This is not for
not
you."
for you.
Because
Just yeah,
you know what I got in trouble most of the time,
yeah.
talking,
Doctor.
running my mouth.
Yes, that's not for you.
Yeah,
Like I've always known that food service is something that I would not be good at. I never ever worked fast food restaurant. No, that's not me.
I could do that job for the social life. That's my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the social aspect, but I just the stuff you have to deal with that I've seen wait staff have to deal with. I was like, oh, I'd be fired. Yeah, because my mouth would probably come off with, something. So that wouldn't work. I've always known that about myself.
So what were some of the key challenges you faced when you were writing this book, Robin?
For me, it was time management. Life happens and I was working full time, life happens. So I went through phases where I didn't work on it. Something would come up. I'm tired. I come in from work. I'm tired. So I would say for me, the toughest part was the time management. I'm proud of myself for never giving up.
Yes.
Because I know people who have been working on books for years and years and years, and that wasn't me. Once I started and got my outline, because that's the first thing I did is sat down and said, okay, what do I want to have in this project?
Right.
And I started writing down, and then I started tackling it like that. And getting my information together, stuff that I had read, and making sure that I, worked it that way. So that's how I got through it. Because there was, of course, if you can tell by looking at, there's research involved, and that's why I've got the reference back there and appendix and so forth. So, having to do that, I had to make sure that I spent some time getting that together and how I wanted to look and then wording things, so it was the time management for me.
Yeah, I'm really proud of you to be working a full-time job. So you set time every evening and on the weekends?
Yeah. And then sometimes I had to take a break. I mean, honestly, that's just life,
That's right.
But yeah, I plodded through it, and I think in about 9 months I had the book all together.
Wow, in 9 months?
And then I had to go, through the editing process.
Yes.
And and then, of course, getting the book cover and all of that. So
what was the highlight of it? Was it when you got the book cover?
When I got the book, and when I first saw the book cover, and I'm going to tell, this was one of those things that I had written the guide, telling what colors I wanted, what I wanted it to say, and I wanted an abstract background.
Okay.
And I left it to him to do it.
Oh, wow.
And what you're looking at is the first one that he sent me.
Really?
That was it. That just made me cry. And then when I finally got it and held it in my hand, now that was like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah, it's for
Nothing
real.
like that moment.
Yeah, that was like, oh my God, I accomplished it. I'm so excited. Yeah. So yeah, but when I actually saw, when he sent me back the cover and the back cover, I was like, he just got it. He just got it. I was so pleased.
Yeah.
Very pleased. Yeah. So he's in my file to use again for book covers.
Yeah, I really like the colors. I could see when you're walking by, it would pop, pop out at you. And then the way you made me so big.
Yeah.
People will want to know, wait, what is that about?
Yeah. So I was really pleased with what he came up with, because I just kind of drew it out a little bit and said, okay, just kind of work with it. You work with the fonts, you work with this, and I was like, whoa, okay, wow.
Yeah, it looks good for that to be the first go around.
That was it. That was it.
Oh my goodness.
I couldn't believe it. That's not the norm from what I'm hearing.
No. Let's just talk a moment on why is personal development so important?
Well, hopefully, we're ever evolving. I mean, I think that everyone, it's a never ending journey in learning yourself and growing and become the best possible version of yourself that you can be. So I've always been drawn to that, learning new things. I love the little quizzes and finding out stuff about myself and other people and seeing how we interact. I just, the whole dynamic of people is what I've always been drawn to. So for me, it's that growth piece. And I feel like it's your responsibility to continue to grow and not stay stagnant. And that's a personal, personal development. It's a personal decision, and how people go about that is very personal as well. But there are tools out there that kind of help you with things, And so you have to be kind of inquisitive to find out about some of the stuff that's out there. There's a lot of information out there. That's why I put it together, even like with the learning styles, because some people learn completely different.
Yes, yes.
But
it's good self-awareness. It's good to know.
It's the self-aware to know. It's like, especially, learning styles. You're a student, you're starting college.
Yeah.
You might be a person who needs to record everything.
Yeah.
And listen back because you're more auditory. You remember, other people are writing it down. Something about writing it down that you make that connection.
Yeah.
People have to feel things, whatever. It's just different ways that you have to learn. And it's good for you to know what that is, so you know how to work that best for you.
That's right. And I can see you teaching this to educators too, so that they can recognize it in their students.
Yeah, not every student learns the same way. So the traditional standing up in front of a classroom and giving a lecture doesn't work for a whole lot of people. You need to have some movement, some action. You need to have some, pictures. You got to have something. It's like, I'm just looking at you. What?
And I agree with you. Learning is a continuous process. Our brain needs information so that we can continue to flourish.
Exactly. They absolutely do.
Now, what are you hoping the readers will take away?
I'm hoping they take away that's why I asked you how you felt. It's really about the feeling. I hope they come out of this feeling very accomplished and comfortable and confident in themselves. That's the ultimate goal, and having the knowledge of themselves. I mean, that right there can eliminate a lot of things of getting into things you shouldn't get into and wasting your time and other people's time. That's just not your thing. Doesn't mean, okay, yeah, it looks okay, but that's not really me, And I'm not saying don't try anything new, but when you're talking about something major project or even a job, there's certain things you need to stay away from because you're not going to be good at that.
Right. And if you're really good, like I was a supervisor and I interviewed people. And so you know how to ask the right questions. A lot of it comes out when you ask people, describe a time or how do you feel? You find out. And I always, I knew if I needed a thinker or if I was hiring a planner or, if I needed a doer, I knew, or a filler, someone that could make everyone feel good in the office. Right. Those are the type of questions I would ask in the interview so I can get exactly the type of person I'm looking for. And I took that 6 months probationary period serious, because if you did not tell the truth in the interview, guess what? It was coming out in those 6 months.
Oh, you're going to find out. Yeah, you're going to find out.
Yeah.
So it's good. I mean, it's nothing but good could come out of doing a project like this. There's no downsides to it at all.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah.
The first step is knowing you. Period. That's the first step, is knowing you. And just trying to be the best version of yourself that you can be.
Yeah. So what advice would you give a new writer, someone just starting out?
Okay. You have an idea. You need to write it down, first of all. This is all going to be about writing. You got to memorialize it. I would suggest that you put it somewhere. Don't forget where you put it. And then if it's still coming up, you need to go back to it, and that's something that you need to start working on. Because all of us get ideas, and it can be so many of them, but what's really coming up over and over again? And then you need to start, going about taking care of that. And, it could be anything. It could be something, poetry, it could be short stories, it could just, be informational. It can just be your life story. It could be all kind of things, but if it keeps coming up, then that's something you need to pursue.
Oh,
And so write it down, put it away, and see what happens with that idea or ideas. And if they keep coming up, then those are the things you need to start working on. And then, figure out how you want to do that. If you're not a prolific writer, there's writing groups you can get involved in.
yeah.
You can take classes at the community college in writing. There's all kind of people who are out there to help you write a book. And it doesn't even have to necessarily be a book. You can do videos.
Yeah.
Podcasts, different things like that. If it keeps coming up, then that's something you need to really delve into.
Yeah, it's something about getting it out of your brain. It helps you move on. Me as a songwriter, whenever I go through something, I put it in a song.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so freeing.
Yes.
To sing a song and other people, it helps other people too that may be going through the similar problem. God gives us some things for us, but then he gives us a lot of things to share. That's why I say there's glory in your story.
Exactly.
Just never know who you're helping. Well, how can we get in touch with you?
Okay. I have my website, which is newphaseoflife.com. My book is on there. And of course, it's on Amazon as well. Just look up Project Me and put my name in, and it should pop up and you can get it there. So those are the two places you can get the book. And check out my website. There's other stuff on there.
Okay, and I'll put those links in this
video. Yeah.
Okay,
perfect.
That's awesome. Okay, do you have anything else that you'd like to add before we wrap up?
No, just hope everybody gets the book. Look for, sign up for my newsletter. I don't send out a lot of stuff. I won't be bombarding you every day with stuff, trust me. But when I do release, the program, I will be letting people know who are on my newsletter as well.
Oh,
and doing things on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah. So that's how you get the information when it's available.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And how soon you think you're going to have the workshop ready?
So I need to just get together how I'm going to piece this out. Probably something each week. So it'll probably be like a 6-week to 8-week program.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. I don't have a date yet, but that's my plan, is to roll this out definitely into a workshop.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today. I enjoyed talking with you. And don't forget to get the book.
Yes.
Me.
It's so pretty.
It is beautiful. Project Me, The Ultimate Guide to Self-Knowledge by Robinson-Myhand.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yay.
I love
Thank
the color.
you.
Can you name something that can make you feel happier, more productive, and it inspires creativity? I know you were thinking of your hot morning cup of coffee or tea, but did you know that keeping a writing journal has the same benefits, and they last long after the caffeine buzz has worn off? Keeping a writing journal is a great way to empower your thoughts and ideas. Is journaling part of your writing life? If not, think about starting a journal. Here are some beautiful journals I created from my artwork. You can also use these journals for note-taking. They are compact for carrying in your bag, and they come in 6 different styles. Please visit our website at equiptosoar.com and click on our tools and resources page. All right. Well, hello, Yvonne.
Hi, so good to see you. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for coming on and talking to me. I am really excited to talk to you. So,
Thank you.
yeah, so let's get started. Briefly tell us about yourself.
Um, well, I live in California. I live in Sacramento, California. I'm married and I have boys. I am a college graduate. I am enjoying my second career and life is great.
So, you had an awesome Mother's Day.
I did. I did. It was nice and quiet. My husband spoiled me, made me breakfast and served me champagne, and then later took me out for appetizers and drinks for dinner. So that was really nice. And then I got to, see my boys and get hugs and loves from them too.
Isn't it nice to be able to go out?
It is. It is so nice to have someone else cook for you for a change,
Yeah,
and clean up afterwards too.
yeah, we've been stuck in the house for so long, so nice to
I
get out
know.
to the restaurants.
I know it is. It makes you, after the last year, it really makes you appreciate that being able to do that.
Yes, yes. So, Yvonne, our subject today is there's glory in your story. So, why do you think it is important for others to share their message?
I believe that everybody has a story. Everybody has a special message in them that they can share. And it's a message that could be inspiring and maybe offering one person a little bit of grace for their struggles or another person inspiration to keep moving forward. We don't get out of this world alone, and all of the experiences we have affect each other. And for someone to tell their story in a way that will help another person is really powerful.
Yes, I always say as humans, we are wired for story. And why are we wired, you ask? Because it's one word, curiosity.
Mm,
Studies have
yes.
shown that our brain is triggered through curiosity. And yep, our brains are stimulated by curiosity. And so we want to know what happens next.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yep, we're drawn by characters in a story. And if you notice, we'll start feeling what they feel. And some of us, me, start talking to the characters. Yeah,
I do too.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. And so, yep, that's how our brain is wired. So, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, it is very important to share your story if you can. And so, can you tell us a little bit about your company and services you offer and what you do?
Absolutely. So my company is called the Pirate Heart Press, and we are an ebook publisher. And one of the fun things about our company is that we're a small publishing company, so that allows us to spend more time with our clients and really hear their story. We provide writer services, so we help new authors go through the writing process and get published. We help established authors maybe find a new creative way to get their story written again. Um, you know, we love helping writers and authors get published, and we're honored to be able to have that privilege. With all the options out there, when a writer or author comes to us, it's a big deal.
How long does the book writing process generally take?
There's no right answer for that, because every author is different. Every writer is different. So, I've known authors that have written, it's taken them 10 years to write a book and it's still not published. I met with one person today earlier that said that she has been working on her book of poems for years, and she just is not ready yet to take that next step. And then there's others that have written, they've taken a writing challenge and they've written their book in a month. It really depends on the person, and life happens. For some people life happens and they have to set it aside, and for others they can just power through and get it done. So, I'd like to say that it can take a month, it can take 2 months, but truly it just depends on the writer and their ability to dedicate time to their writing.
Okay. Yeah, I love that answer. And so the services that you offer, can you tell us a little bit about them and different trainings? Do you help push people through the process? How does that work?
Well, we do help push our authors through the writing process. And some of the services that we do offer is editing. So we'll edit a story word by word, sentence by sentence, and paragraph by sentence by paragraph until we get through the chapters and through the book. So we edit not only for grammar, but we edit for flow and how the story moves through how each chapter moves through the story. And at the end, we do what we call final polishing. So we'll go through a book one last time and make sure that everything's in place that needs to be there. One of the services that we do is we copyright. So we'll take that finished story when it's polished and ready for publishing, and we'll copyright it. And we get a certificate back saying that it's been registered, and we give that to the author. We also offer ISBN numbers, which is an ISBN stands for International Book Number. So it's a tracking mechanism, and most bookstores like Barnes and Noble, even some of the smaller ones, require an ISBN number and a barcode because it allows them to easily track. They can just scan it and they can know everything they needed to know about that book and put it in its place. So we do that as well. We also do the cover art for the books that we edit, and we help our authors with those. So if they don't have their own graphic artist, some do, but those that don't, then we help design their cover art as well, which is really fun because all those creative juices come out,
Yeah.
And then as far as training and helping the writer through the process, we do a lot of consulting, and we do a lot of guidance. We offer a lot of guidance to our authors and our writers. So if a story is not flowing in the right direction, or maybe there's a side path that's been taken, then we need to kind of veer it back to the story, then we'll talk about that. And sometimes we need to remove portions of a story to get it to flow. And sometimes we just need to add more to get it to flow. So we do a lot of, we get very creative with our authors, and we get very, very close because we get very intimate with their writing.
Oh, okay. That sounds really good. So you make the process fun.
We do. Sometimes it's not, because the authors, going through the editing process can be frustrating for them, but we always go into a project explaining what the process is, especially if it's a new author or a new writer. And so we try not to get them too frustrated through the process, but we do explain, what you start with today may not be what you end with. But what we can guarantee is it will be a beautiful piece of art when you're done.
Oh, yeah. It's nothing like when it's finished and then now you are a author.
I know. That is like the best feeling, is to be able to tell a new author that they're published.
Yes. I remember that day well.
I bet you do.
Yes, it's nothing like it. So that's good that you coach them through the process and help them, because sometimes we get writer's block, or just simply, some other things come up, or you just procrastinate. And so it's good that you have services to help your clients through that process, especially that writer's block.
Absolutely. And writer's block really can come from anywhere. It could be that the writer's just real busy and is not concentrating on their work. Life is trying to take over. It could be a number of things. And being able to walk a writer or an author through that is really satisfying because it gets them to the other side.
Yeah, if you're struggling, definitely contact someone like yourself, because you want to make the process fun, but like you said, life does happen. So I say take a break, take a walk, come back. Also, go back to your why. Why are you writing the book? What is the story you're trying to tell?
Exactly. And what is your message?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, because give yourself some grace. That's the thing. We're so hard on ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I really think that when authors experience writer's block, or they're beating themselves up because they're not as far along as they think they should be on their book, I always go back and tell them, you know what, it's not a race. It's not a race. And, when you can schedule time in, then schedule it in. But life is going to happen and you just need to work through it. It'll be okay.
Yeah. Embrace the imperfection. The other thing too is I talked on our There's Glory in Your Story session 1. I talked to a lady, Wanda, and one of the tips she gave was write as if you're writing for the trash can. And I thought that was an awesome tip, because someone's going to edit it. And so
Absolutely.
yeah. And so, in other words, what I took away from that is just keep writing. Don't worry about it. Don't try to edit as you're writing. Just have fun, keep writing, embrace it. And before you know it, it's like over. And you're like ready to hand it off to be reviewed. So yeah, just maybe set up some time to write an hour a day. You'll be surprised how far that'll take you, how many words you end up with.
Exactly. And that's one of my biggest pieces of advice too for a new writer, because I get a lot of, well, I just don't have time, or, I want to edit as I go through. And it's like, I get that. I really do. But just even if you have 15 minutes, that's still 15 minutes that you can get 1,000 words done or 500 words done or however many. The biggest thing is, like you said, don't edit as you go. Get your story out first. Because, the biggest roadblock I think that most new writers have is that they're thinking about their story and they're thinking about structure, and we're so worried about missing something that they miss something. So instead of worrying about structure and all of the other stuff, because there will be time for that, just get the story out. Write it all down. Either write it or put it in your computer, however is best for them, but get it out first. And then we can work on the rest of it.
I say let it flow out your brain, because you know what? It's something about getting it out of your brain and getting it onto the paper and just being creative.
I really agree with you. Get your story out. That's the most important thing. Get your story out of your head and get it on paper, and you'll feel so much better. You'll feel so much lighter because you're not forcing yourself to try to remember a detail so you don't forget it.
It is so freeing. Oh my
It
goodness.
is.
I wrote my first story in second grade.
Really?
Yes, second grade. And I
Oh,
did the illustration and everything. It was about family and friends. I've always loved writing, and I've always loved reading, as I mentioned before. But yep, I've been writing since second grade.
that's incredible. I love it. Do you still have your story?
Yeah. Yep. And I love it. I love it. So,
Aww.
yeah. So in your opinion, what makes a book good?
Oh my gosh, it really depends on it depends on the individual and the genre. I think the basic structure of a book, if that is sound and you can read through the book without having to look words up or having to stop and think about what is being said because you don't understand it. I think a good book and the basic structure needs to flow well, first off. And then secondly, depending on the genre and what you're reading the book for, will depend on what makes the good book. So if you're looking for a book that is got magic in it and it's supernatural and it's got all these adventures and it's, keeping you laughing or scaring you or whatever the genre is, if it's accomplishing the purpose for reading that book, then it's a good book. But if you pick up a book and you're wanting it to be a scary book and you read what the story is about, and you're thinking, oh yeah, I want a really good scary book. And you get through the book and you realize this was kind of a letdown, then it probably wasn't the best book for that person.
You help with all kinds, right? Fiction, nonfiction.
Yep, we do.
Oh.
We do. We also help business owners do brochures, like informational brochures. We did an insurance one not too long ago. I'm working actually for our company. I'm working on a writing tips book to help new writers and authors get through the process. And books like that, they enhance the brand of the company that we're creating them for. And we do copyright them once we get them, the way they're supposed to be. We do copyright them and, make sure that all of the legal language is there, and which is fun too. So it's not necessarily a work of fiction, that's going to be exciting and adventurous, but they're wonderful tools for a business to hand out to their clients as well.
Oh yeah. Do you do workshops? That book with the tips on how to write books would be awesome.
It's funny that you asked me that because I'm actually working on developing a workshop now.
Oh, all right.
And a writers group on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah. So you have a writers group on Facebook, and can anyone get in the group, or how do we join?
Well, I'm timing it with the writing tips workshop, so it's not open yet.
Okay.
So it's in the works, and it's going to be a closed private group because I'm going to have very specifics. I want the members to be able to ask a question and feel value in their question and know that it's a good question no matter what it is, and that will help them through their writing process. And it'll be a great forum for everyone to work together and maybe share tips and information, and maybe ask questions about if they're stuck on something. I want it to be really foster good writing and a very helpful group, not just for me to say how you should do it, but to bounce things off of each other. A safe place for writers and authors.
Absolutely, because support and accountability, that is number one in writing and just helping us do, women empowerment. We need support. I always talk about the African proverb, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go with others.
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
I think that's awesome because, with you coaching us through the process and then having support and others being able to chime in, and you may meet someone along the way to have as an accountability partner to just kind of keep pushing you through.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited about it. Now,
thank you.
Yeah, I can't wait. Now, I also see on your Facebook, you offer public speaking training as well. Can you talk about that a little bit?
We do offer public speaking. I have not developed any training for that as of yet. Now, it doesn't mean that that's not going to be something we offer in the future, but some of the topics that we do offer in our public speaking is literacy. And our editor, Ross Whalen, literacy is a very important subject for him. So that is one of the topics that we actually don't charge for. So we'll go out and we'll do an event, big or small, and we can go to schools or libraries, talk to educators, but it's really about the importance of literacy and how Mr. Whalen himself was illiterate until about the third grade. And he was inspired by a teacher that took him by the hand and taught him, inspired him to read and taught him and gave him the skills that he needed to move forward. And he's just been addicted since then. And so it's a great story. It's inspiring. And again, that's something that we don't charge for. We want to get the message out there. We also do another speaking event. It's called the 4Gs, and it's the 4 greats in life. And it's our formula for a great life. So it's great food and great friends, great fun, and of course, great sex. And so all of it comes together to formulate a beautiful, satisfying life. And so that's one of our speaking topics. And we've got some others, but that's where I'll start. And it's fun. It's fun.
Is that your husband you're talking about?
It is.
Oh my goodness. That's an awesome book right there. So has he put his story in the book?
Not yet. He is a published author, but he hasn't published that story yet. He hasn't written that story yet.
That is awesome for, like you said, to take out to the schools.
Yes, and it's meant to be motivational and inspirational and awareness as well, because sometimes I don't think that we realize some of the kids that are not getting where they need to go, and to, be aware of that and take them by the hand and just watch them blossom and watch them just grow.
At any age, see,
that's right.
Right. You can grow. So how much does your service cost? Is it affordable? Is it reasonable?
I feel that our services are reasonable, partly because we are a smaller publishing company, and we're very competitive with the larger publishing companies like Random House and so forth. We also price our services to the writer and author. So depending on how long their book is and what services they're looking for specifically, because we may have an author that wants just editing, just basic editing, or just final polishing. They don't need the whole service. And so we'll price our services individually, and we're very transparent. And so what we try to do is we'll give a proposal based upon an initial conversation, and then work with the author, if they have questions, and say, I'd like to add this, or I don't think I'll need this, so we'll add and remove as they see fit and provide services as they see fit. And the ultimate goal is by the time that we're done, they have a book that's ready to be published. So yeah, and so, to go back to your question, we are very affordable, and we will work with our authors.
Okay, that's awesome. You have like payment plans, and so that's really good.
We will have a payment plan for an author if that's what they need.
Okay.
So our goal is not to break the bank. Our goal is to help them get published, and along the way we'll benefit because we've got to help them.
Okay, I am loving your services.
Thank you.
Yes, one-stop shop. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Really awesome. So how can we get in touch with you?
There's a couple of ways. You could visit my website, and you can send an email through the website, and we'll respond within 24 hours. You can also email me directly. My website address is www.pirateheartpress.com. And my email address is pirateheartpress@gmail.com.
Okay.
And of course, we've got a presence on social media: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. And I can also be contacted via any of those platforms as well.
Okay. All right. I'm really excited about your company, your services, and what you offer, and your upcoming workshop.
Yes. Yes.
Have you named the workshop yet?
No, not that one. I'm in the process of finishing up a workshop right now, and it's called the No-Brainer Approach to Marketing, and it's a beginner social media workshop, and it's to help new authors and writers navigate social media marketing. So we talk about the different platforms so they can pick the best one for them. We talk about how hashtags work. We talk about demographics. Um, and it's really meant for the beginner who is never marketed on social media. And so we get them going and teach them how to create their content, how to create their keywords and look for those keywords and how to just move forward.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you would like to add as we wrap up?
Oh gosh, you asked some really great questions and I think you've got it all out of me. Other than we would be honored to work with any new writer or author, even established ones. It's an honor to get work to that published point and help someone say, I'm published. You want to look at my book? That's like the best feeling. And we love what we do and would love to hear from anybody. Even if you have a question, reach out to me. I'm here.
Okay. Ooh, awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking with me today. I really enjoyed you. A lot of information. And one of the things that I just wanted to do is let people who made a goal, I've known quite a few people who have set a goal this year that they are going to finish writing their book.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes, and so I really wanted to have you on. I wanted to talk to ladies who have written books, and then I wanted to talk to you as a publisher.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so there is glory in your story. So let's put that pen to paper and get to writing. All
I
right.
agree.
Yes.
Joy, thank you so much. It's been such an honor to be on this show with you, and I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate what you do and just keep on going. I'm loving your story and your husband's story.
Thank you.
Thank you for inspiring us.
Oh gosh, I think you're inspiring me.
Thank you for coming on and talking to me and just lifting up everyone that watch our show.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. This concludes episode 20. There's glory in your story, session 2. Thank you for watching today. Thank you, Yvonne, and thank you, Robin. I really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you for all of the information that you shared. And if you would like to get in touch with these ladies, please click on the link in the video and give them a call. They will be happy to work with you, especially if you have a story. Maybe you're a first-time author and you've been holding on to that story or something that God has given you that you know you should be sharing with others. Go ahead and put pen to paper, or even if you just have an outline or a thought, I know Yvonne would be happy to talk to you. She said she would talk to you. It doesn't matter at what stage you are in the process. She will work with you. And so sometimes that's what we need, a little push. And I know that she will support you and be your biggest cheerleader. Because sometimes I know we procrastinate, or maybe we don't think it's good enough what we have. So go ahead and reach out to Yvonne. She will help you with your process. Or maybe you already have your book written, but you just need some editing done. Or you may just need it to be copywritten. So you may need some copyrights, or you just want someone to take a second look. You know it's good, but you just want somebody else to just kind of help and say, yeah, That is good. Maybe you just need just a few little tweaks. She will help you. And I'm looking forward to her workshop that she has coming up. And so let's stop making those excuses, because we found someone to help motivate you, encourage you, and I hope that this show help you get started or finish what you started. It could be as simple as you might just need an ISBN number. Well, she can help you get that too. Whatever you need, just keep going and don't stop. Be positive, get your story out, and so you'll be surprised at who you could help, who you can uplift and encourage. You never know who you are helping along the way. All right, everyone, thank you for watching. Have a blessed day and a blessed rest of the week, and we will see you back here next time on Living. Bye-bye.